There's no better feeling than a personal win, and the State Farm Personal Price Plan can help you do just that. Talk to a State Farm agent today to learn how you can bundle and save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
When it comes to towing, seeing is believing. That's why Chevy Truck's advanced camera technology offers up to 8 available cameras for 14 unique views, so you can focus on the view that really matters. Chevrolet, together let's drive. Learn more about Chevy Trucks at Chevy.com. Safety or driver assistance features are no substitute for the driver's responsibility to operate the vehicle in a safe manner. Read the Vehicle Owner's Manual for important feature limitations and information.
Ryan Reynolds here for, I guess, my 100th Mint commercial. No, don't. I mean, honestly, when I started this, I thought I only have to do like 4 of these. I mean, it's unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month. How are there still people paying 2 or 3 times that much? I'm sorry, I shouldn't be victim blaming here. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/save. Whenever you're ready.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.
So great to be here at Nantwich Cricket Club with Tom Scollay. How are we doing, Tom?
I'm very well, thank you. The sun is shining. It's been a few days of rain and a few days of sun. It makes a big difference over here, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Hey, I mean, we did take the mickey out of you the other day. We saw you all wrapped up. You had your gilet on down in the Surrey, I'm presuming, somewhere down there. You were with Teague and with Jackson at the time. It was a bit colder down there, wasn't it?
No, it was actually up here.
It
was on Tuesday. We went to a under 10s game or something, and we were wanting to use the nets, and they were full. So we went on the outfield. We got some sticks, and we made a session on the outfield. But I was in London. I flew into London on Monday. I was down there. I got a couple of hours of coaching done. It rained. Then I came up here on Tuesday morning, and it was quite cold and rainy. So it was both places. Down south, up north was both a bit wet and cold.
Well, it was great to see Teague in particular, obviously, because we interviewed Teague a few weeks ago on that video that you put out the other day. And let's be honest, must have done something right, because last night he absolutely creamed Wimbledon, didn't he?
He did. He got 60 out of 38. He got a 23 ball 50 in a T20 quarter-final in the Surrey Prem. He's hit with me the last few days. We hit Monday in London, we hit Tuesday up here, we hit Wednesday, and then he went back yesterday afternoon. So we've worked hard at his game on various things. He went back Thursday yesterday. So he did well last night, which is great to see.
Absolutely. And what's the reason that you've come all the way from Oz for 10 days? Yeah, it's a long bloody way to come in it, mate.
It is a long way, but at the end of the day, it's 24 hours sort of in a plane or travelling, and then I get to sort of meet and spend time with a lot of our cricket mentoring community. I have a British passport. I lived over here, obviously played a little bit for Middlesex. My wife's English. England is like a second home to me. We try and come back as a family as often as we can. She's got a lot of family here. This time she couldn't come, but I wanted to make a sort of a work trip over here and connect with some key people that I've built relationships with, and continue to meet new people like you, people who I'm about to start coaching over the next sort of week or so, who hopefully end up being long-term, we have long-term relationships with. They maybe come on our tours to India and do other things. And there's nothing like meeting people in person. So it's a big investment in terms of the cost to get over here and the time away from the family. But for me, the UK has a huge cricket market. We're trying to still grow our business and meet new people. So it's well worth the 2-week investment. And
okay, it was a bit cool earlier in the week, but you've brought the weather with us now. I mean, for you, coaching in this weather is just like being back home practically.
It's magical, yeah, it is. It's so nice. I know I was speaking to Nick, who I'm staying with at the moment, Jackson's dad, and he was saying how the English love to moan when it's cold and wet. You want the sun to come out. When the sun comes out, it's too hot, and everyone complains it's too hot. But for me, this is absolutely magical. Yeah, it's like being home in the summer. There's a little bit of a breeze. I could coach in this all day long.
Absolutely. Well, Nick will know. We've only had one weekend this season where the whole of the Premier Leagues around the country have played every single game. Just
Wow.
one weekend so far. That's the downside of cricket over here, unfortunately. But hey, we talk about the weather all the time on our bloody podcast. So you're here to coach. What sort of level of people are you coaching? What sort of level of players are you coaching?
Look, a whole variety. Look, obviously I've worked with Teague. I'm going to work with Jake Weatherald, who's one of my players that I've worked with back home. He's a Big Bash player. They're both pros. I may get some hits in. I'm working with Marie Kelly, who's a pro.
Yeah.
I'm working with her on Sunday, and I coached her back in Perth. May get a hit in with a few others. I won't mention any names, but we're trying to line up schedules from the professional game and international players if schedules work. But I've got a 10-year-old coming this morning who's in our cricket mentoring community.
Yeah.
I had a hit with him last year, and they follow our content. His dad's obviously his main coach and mentor and follows our stuff and is trying to impart that onto his son. So it's a whole spectrum of people. I think we've got some 40-something-year-olds who play league cricket. And that's what we're about. We're trying to help young, aspiring cricketers reach their potential, but we're certainly not limited in age or ability as well. We want to help everyone enjoy the game and get a little bit better.
And if you were to sort of single your coaching and your mentoring into sort of one sentence, how would you describe it?
Well, I'm trying to be the mentor I wish I had. I was lucky. I grew up in the middle of Australia. I had very supportive parents. I followed my dream around Australia and then to the other side of the world here in the UK. I played professional cricket, but I don't think I reached my full potential. I had a 2.5-year career and then it was over, and I had a lot of sort of pain and sort of I was upset about that. And so I'm just trying to, it's not one sentence, I apologise, but I'm trying to help aspiring cricketers become the best they can be and reach their full potential.
And what do you look for in a cricketer? Is there anything in particular, or is it just come along, one have a go, and actually you just committed more than anything?
We've got the mower in the background, so hopefully it's not too noisy. But
That's perfect.
We're here at Nantwich. They're getting the ground ready for tomorrow. To me, it's attitude.
Yeah.
And one thing I say that the best players of any sport, the most successful athletes, what they have is a real deep love and joy for their craft, for their art. And it's not about scoring hundreds and winning championships. It's actually the craft of hitting balls on a Friday afternoon at 2 o'clock. It's the joy of what they do. So for me, if I'm thinking about looking for players who are going to go all the way, and that's what I'm trying to do. I suppose my big goal when I'm 50 or 60 and I'm maybe slowing down a bit is to have hopefully had an impact and mentored a whole range of international or professional cricketers, and they can say Scholl's played a big part in my success, and cricket mentoring as a whole, the other mentors as well did. So when I'm looking at that sort of level, it's a love for the game. It's an attitude more than anything. It's not a skill, but usually they're pretty skilled because they're doing it all the time. But with players over the next sort of couple of weeks of being here, it's just I'm just looking to help them get a little bit better, and whatever, I'm trying to meet them wherever they're at. If they're coming to me, I've got a player coming today who said he's lost the joy of the game, he's not enjoying it. So it might be an hour of talking, it might be an hour of asking questions and trying to get him to tap back into why he loves the game and why he plays the game in the first place. For others, they might say I'm nicking off all the time, and I'm trying to help them with some technical things. I specialise in batting, so I don't really do a lot of bowling coaching, but I also am very passionate about the mindset. So it's over the next couple of weeks, it's just helping players get a little bit better. We're not going to change the world in an hour, but we're going to try and make them a little bit better.
I think the key there is, the name says it all, cricket mentoring, and everything you've talked about there is attitude, it's about mindset. And I say to our juniors all the time, cricket can be the most boring game in the world, because if you just repeat the process, and then it comes good. But that's a mindset, isn't it, rather than just play that flash shot that so-and-so's played on the telly.
Absolutely, and I think perspective in life is everything. You can see the same situation from two different lenses, and it can be good or it can be bad. And I think that you're absolutely right. If you want to be a great player or you want to be successful, you have to enjoy the boring stuff, the easy, simple stuff that becomes the boring stuff. You can't always go and do the sexy, exciting, challenging stuff. You need to nail your basics. And so for me, boring is a great thing, but the best players don't get bored. It looks boring because it's the same, but they have that joy or love for doing the same thing over and over again. Yeah,
I mean, I'm driving up here today. I've had the pleasure of listening to Sir Alistair Cook on TMS. He's a great example, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Early in his career, people thought, oh, he's a boring old sod, he ain't going to score any. Greatest ever run scorer for England. He's the perfect guy when it talks to mentor and mindset, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And he was quite limited in his technique, and he lived in an era where it suited him. But I heard someone say once, the best players were the best in their era.
Yeah.
And if you put them into the next era, they'd probably be the best in that era. So Sir Alistair grew up focused on Test cricket, like so many players of his and my age and your age. But that limited him for T20 cricket. But T20 cricket wasn't such a thing back then. But what he did have was, this incredible mindset, this incredible discipline, and then obviously an incredible work ethic to become so good. He was boring. He wasn't sexy to watch, but it's not about how good you look. It's about the results. Exactly.
Yeah, outcomes come first, time and time again, isn't it? What's if you had to look at an outcome from this trip of yours, what do you want to get out of it? What is that number one outcome?
Well, that's a really interesting question. Number one is probably building relationships with a whole new range of people. I've come over to do some specific filming. We've got, Nick Bentley is the father of Jackson Bentley, who's the cricket kid on Instagram and has a bit of a profile over here. And Nick and Jackson have been to India with me 3 times, and Nick is our videographer now. So a big part of the trip was to come and do some specific high-quality filming for some online courses that we're going to be releasing. So that was one part, was to get that high-quality stuff done with someone I trust, someone I know, someone who knows cricket and can edit and see all the sort of right pieces of it. And then to meet people and build relationships, both from a coaching or mentoring point of view, people that may sort of become long-term athletes we work with, but also some business-related things. And capture a lot of content. I'm recording some episodes for my podcast while I'm here, recording some other content for YouTube and for our social channels, doing some work with a few pros, catch up with Teague, who's over here. So there's a whole range of things.
And let's be honest, the one thing that's going to be the most exciting thing about this trip is just spotting that youngster who you've never seen face to face. He's been in the community, and going, wow, that's what you want, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. If we can find another Teague or Jackson somewhere over the next couple of weeks who they are wanting a mentor as well, that's exciting. I love this relationship I have with Nick and Jackson. They're here now. We've just been filming before recording this. I'm staying at their house, become really close with them. And Jackson's 13. He's got a huge way to go in his journey, but he's on the path to being a great cricketer. He's highly skilled, he's highly competent for his age, but most importantly, he has a great attitude and he loves it. He loves keeping, he loves batting, which means he's always doing it. He's always getting better. So I hope that we can maintain that sort of really close relationship. I can continue to mentor him, and one day he's playing sort of for England and international cricket for a very long time. So yeah, absolutely. If we can connect with another young cricketer, whether it's a similar age, a bit younger, a bit older, and they see the value in having sort of me or cricket mentoring involved in their life, well then that's a huge win as well. And
again, I'm going to repeat it, I think the key there is the word mentoring. There's thousands of coaches around the country, there's thousands of people who show you how to play a front foot, forward drive, whatever, you name it, they can all show you. But how many people can mentor? How many people can talk the talk and actually talk about what it's about? That's the difference, isn't it?
Yeah, look, I think so. I think that one thing I have as a value is like caring more than most. I think that everyone I meet, I try and build a relationship, try and understand who they are and where they come from. And I think that everyone's unique and everyone has a special story and a special journey. And through my pain of probably not quite making it, not quite reaching my potential, although cricket has given me everything, I've certainly got no bitterness towards the game. Cricket has sort of given me this amazing life. I want to really help others reach their potential and go on that amazing journey and have lots of highs and get so much out of this great game that has given me so much as well.
Absolutely. I think you've summed up there nicely exactly what we spoke to Teague about. About enjoying it first and foremost, and you want to put something back, which is what you're doing. And if you can make people better, what more can you do?
Yeah, exactly. And it's sort of unlocking their potential. Like everyone has potential. It's just sort of trying to help them navigate their mind and their body so that they can play at their best more consistently. And I can't make someone great in an hour. They've got to put hours and hours and hours of work in. I can do a few tweaks. I can tweak a grip. I can tweak a mindset. I can tweak a perspective. I can have a conversation that might tweak something that is the catalyst for big change. But big change happens over time. And so it's about, it's got to come from them. It's always the athlete first. And where, as a mentor, I'm just there to support and guide them. And I think mentoring is most needed when players are struggling, when they're not going well. When they're going well, everyone's up and about, everyone's around them. But it's when they're struggling, when they're not going so well, that that they want someone to talk to, someone they can relate to, someone they trust, someone they can be vulnerable with. And Jackson, for example, last year he was struggling a bit. We jumped on an online call, and I was in Australia, he was in England, and we just chatted, and I just shifted his perspective a little. And he went out the next game with a much more carefree, freedom attitude, and he scored a 50 ball 90. And it's just those little conversations. He always had that in him. I didn't change him, but I just shifted his perspective a little bit. And to me, that's what mentoring is. It's not just telling them about your cover drive and then I go home and watch TV. It's being there for them when they need you.
Absolutely. Hey, it's been great catching up, Tom. Short but sweet. Look forward to keeping in touch over the coming weeks, and let's see what we do with you guys, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, guys. And anyone listening, if you want to follow us, check us out on Cricket Mentoring on our socials, and we have our Cricket Mentoring Community, which is a subscription platform where we do engage. We help players all over the world. We've got people from 25 countries in there. So I hope you don't mind the plug, but
we'll be plugging it anyway.
Awesome. So yeah, check it out, guys. Hope to see a few of you in there. Thanks for having me.
Brilliant, Tom.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Premier League Cricket Show. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future episodes and stay updated on all the latest news, views and discussions from around the Cricket's Premier Leagues. And be sure to follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, and Instagram at TPL Cricket Show on both. Join the conversation, share your thoughts and connect with us and your fellow Premier League cricket fans. And hey, if you enjoyed the show, why not show us some love? Leave us a 5-star review on your favourite podcast platform, as it helps other potential listeners to find us when they're searching for cricketing podcasts. Thanks again for being part of the Premier League Cricket Show family, and until next time, have a good one.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
Connection is a healthy and essential aspect of our daily lives. From a warm hug after a hard day to kind words just when we need them, these gentle moments give us an understanding of life's true meaning. But when the ability to connect is interrupted by the hustle of daily life and to-do lists pile up next to the worry of who needs school supplies, sometimes making decisions about our health and the well-being of our loved ones can take a back seat. When it comes to those we care for, vaccines are one of the greatest public health success stories, and along with other measures, are one way to help prevent certain diseases. At Merck, we envision communities where families, healthcare providers, local organizations, and advocates work together. Health equity happens when every person, regardless of age and ethnicity, in every community, has fair access to healthcare, including the vaccines they need. For more information, please visit whyvaccines.com.